We involve parents in lots of ways now. We've worked a lot on handovers at the end of the days, making them much more of a good quality. So yes, we mentioned about, you know, how many bottles they've had or whether they've eaten all their dinner, but also try and pick out something that their child's particularly enjoyed, so that parent can then have that dialogue with that child and they feel involved in their child's day. We also send information home each term about current sort of themes or topics or activities that the children have really enjoyed, and we put photographs everywhere. So on the majority of our displays there's a lot of photographic evidence, not just of the things the children have made, but the children actually doing that process as well, because the process is often the important bit, not the final product. And then with policies and procedures, we have policies of the term for parents, where we would, so for example with the behaviour policy, we would send that to parents who maybe had to have some support with their child, for example, to see what their take on our policy would be and whether they felt that we handled it appropriately and met all their needs as a family, just to give us the opportunity to reflect and see if we are heading in the right direction. When you've got 30 odd members of staff, 3 nurseries, 3 managers and a couple of directors, I just wasn't prepared for how long a change might take, basically. And it does take a long time, and that was incredibly frustrating, having to wait for a management meeting, then we'd talk about it, and then we'd go back the following month and what did you think about it, have you mulled it over, and it just seemed to take forever, you know, and I think it was the planning really was the first thing that I was involved with, and it took about 6 months before we'd got this timetable sorted. And I was like, oh, yeah, if it was in my own room I would have just done it 2 days later, there you go. But I know that that's important, because you have to prepare them and you have to make sure they know where you're coming from. You can't just, you know, you would get a lot of resistance if you just expected them to change overnight. So
we achieved outstanding from Ofsted. We also achieved 100% in our ECAT accreditation. We were also awarded grade 1, which was outstanding in the Leicester City QIF, which is Quality Improvement Framework. So yes, I think it's measurable on those terms. Not to say that all of the practitioners and the manager doesn't help as well, but Jo's role is equally just as important, and I'm sure that you know, her time and effort contributed to achieving all of those.
We've always strived to have really good nurseries and try and be the best that we can be. What I think they would miss by not having me there is the person who takes the time to understand and make sure that people have a good, sound knowledge of what it is that we're working towards. So yes, I think they would still maintain quality. We had very good Ofsteds and things like that before I got this job. However, I don't think we did very well on the practitioners actually understanding why and the ins and outs of what we were doing and why that was important. So I think that's the bit that they would miss. And you'll always get sort of the practitioner management sort of block, if you like, where one perhaps can't understand how something would work and vice versa, whereas I think I bridged that gap, having worked on a practical level for so many years and also being part of the management team for a while as well.